Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to address today's Youth and Education Alliance Global Summit. It's so encouraging to know that academics, staff, and students from universities and colleges around the world are coming together in such numbers to discuss climate and biodiversity, which are two sides of the same coin. All of you are squarely focused on the vital research that underpins our understanding of the climate and biodiversity crisis. You're instigating climate conversations on your campuses, you're using your institutions to drive change across society, and we know that there are new climate and sustainability schools and departments opening around the world, educating the next generation and giving them the skills and the knowledge to be part of the climate solution. This work is urgent, and therefore I commend you for it. And it's now 8 months since COP26, where under the UK stewardship, almost 200 countries agreed the historic Glasgow Climate Pact. That pact forges a path to a clean global future. It keeps alive the possibility of limiting the rise in global temperature to 1.5 degrees, and it told a watching world that leaders could and would rise above their differences and unite against a common challenge. But the world has changed markedly since COP26. We meet against a backdrop of multiple global crises, much precipitated by the Putin regime's illegal, brutal, and unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. And even as leaders deal with the immediate challenges facing us, all the evidence makes clear that the chronic threat of climate change is getting worse. The pulse of 1.5 remains weak. It'll only grow stronger if countries, companies, and institutions around the world deliver on their commitments. Governments will, of course, be central to these efforts, and I'll be using the remaining months of the UK's COP26 presidency to urge action on mitigation, on adaptation, on finance, and of course on the important issue of loss and damage. But alongside this, universities and colleges have a critical role to play. So if you've not already done so, please join the 1,100 institutions that have already committed to the Race to Zero campaign for universities and colleges. And that means setting a net zero target for the mid-century or earlier and developing concrete plans for action. I urge you to continue to support and drive forward climate science and research, using it to shape your own actions, but also to push others, particularly businesses and governments, to act. Open your own climate and sustainability departments. Help us to retrain and reskill those people and communities working to make a just transition away from fossil fuels. And to those students and young leaders in the audience, you are the vital agents of change as well. That fact was recognized at COP26 when education and environment ministers came together for the first time, and when ministers from over 25 countries made commitments to further empower young people to drive climate action through education and learning. Countries also agreed to a new Glasgow work programme on action for climate empowerment, ACE, to promote youth engagement, climate education, and public participation. Because just as your knowledge and leadership was central to so much of the progress we made in Glasgow, it'll be central to driving progress on the road ahead. And know that whilst you're doing this important work, we also recognise the need to give education systems around the world the support they need. The UK's sustainability and climate change strategy commits to working with countries around the world to give every young person the chance to understand climate change and be part of the solution. The UK supports the Education Cannot Wait initiative, a global fund that protects countries' ability to provide education in emergencies. And we will host an international green skills conference by the end of 2023 to amplify the green skills and green career pathways needed to support our transition to net zero. So I wish you all the very best for the rest of the summit. I encourage you to keep taking action in your own institutions and across your own campuses. And I urge each of you to keep pushing your own communities and your own governments to deliver on all the commitments made in Glasgow. Because just as many of you played a vital role in securing these commitments, you will be critical to ensuring that they're honoured and to making sure that we go further. Let's keep up the pressure and let's work together to make 2022 a year of delivery. Thank you.